Hey, hello, my name is Jay Beershank. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today we're here for another edition of book reviews. We're in Northern California. We're back in the USA. If you look at recent book reviews, we were around the world, now we're back home in the USA. Behind me here is my tent that I'm living in. Doing a little homesteading type situation. Anyway, yeah, so today we're gonna do a book review for a book that many people say is one of the best novels ever written, and you know, I'm not gonna argue with that. It's a goddamn great novel. And that novel is Anna Karenina by Leo Tolstoy. So, let me start off by saying that, yeah, there's definitely tiers of books, and this book is in, you know, one of the tiers, puts it next to like a Dostoevsky longer novel, in the sense of just like the intricacies of the characters and the intricacies of their interactions and the depth of which you get to understand each person's motives and sorrows and joys in life is so vivid that it makes it like you're getting to live each of their lives and experience the things that they experience, almost as if you were doing it yourself in reality, which is quite a interesting thing to experience when you read, because it's almost as if you're getting like a little cheat code into life, because you're getting to experience all these different situations and then also the repercussions of how those situations would play out in life if you were this type of person or that type of person, without actually having to become that type of person and live a life as them. So yeah, it's just wonderfully amazing. This book is pretty long. It's about, the version I read was about 830 pages. And before I get into too much more, the translators of this are Richard Pever and Larissa Valahansky. Can you see that there? These translators I've found are the best translators for Russian literature. I've tried other translators for Dostoevsky and other translators. I tried one, well, it might just be for Dostoevsky. But anyway, I've read their translation of The Idiot, of the Karamazov brothers, and now of Anna Karenina. I tried to read War and Peace from different translators, and I just noticed that it wasn't as easy and enjoyable, so I really recommend those two translators. Okay, so back to the novel. Yeah, what I really enjoyed was that it's not just one point of view or one particular story that's going on throughout the novel. It's a progression of time with about 15 almost main characters. I mean, there's maybe 4 main, but there's a lot of side characters, and you're getting to go on these so many different avenues and adventures with these characters, and that's what I enjoyed most about this book, and what kind of separated it for me from like the Karamazov brothers or something, is you're getting to go down so many individual routes. And I'll start by talking about one of the main characters, and his name is Levin. It's supposed that Leo Tolstoy actually based Levin off of himself, and if that's true, that's quite interesting, because I resonated with Levin a lot. He's a guy that throughout the whole novel, pretty much until the very end, he kind of has this awakening. But anyway, he struggles with like neuroticism and not self-doubt, but just, you know, he has a deep soul and a deep mind, and he ponders heavily. And you know, he's composed and everything, but his internal tornado of turmoil and like second guessing and always wanting to make sure that he's not giving into like an easy truth, and always wanting to make sure that he's acting righteous and noble, was a really interesting journey to take along with him, and seeing all the situations that he goes into and that you get to see him interact with other people, and was really fun. I loved the part in the book where he experiences like the joy of hard work and how he's talking about that, and like I love the contrast of like the simplicity of his workers, of the musics, I think that's how you pronounce it, and then like the contrast of when he goes into the city and like is interacting with society. Society is basically just like people with money and leisure time, and you know, don't have to work all the time, or they work jobs that are not physical. Whatever, they come from money and these things, and the contrast between these two different stratas of society were really interesting for me, because I think it plays into a lot of different aspects in reality. even though it's a little bit archaic. But and Levin's analysis of what is important to each strata is so vivid and interesting. And one part I really like too, there's another main character. Her name is Anna, the main character, which is named after the book. And her husband in the beginning is so interesting because the way that she describes his autonomy, I guess you'd call it, and like his personality and the reasons why he's doing things and the kind of man he is, it's such an interesting depiction of a modern man in a way, you know. He's living through convictions that he believes are the convictions he should have, but he gives them no second thought, and he's really not an individual. He's just a product of kind of like these a product of a mold that is a good person. But is that really a good person? Yeah, that's an interesting idea. And then his weird kind of interaction and relationship with Christianity throughout the whole book, and like his Christian morals enabling him and disabling him from doing certain things, I just found extremely interesting. Especially there's a part when he like there's something obvious that he wants to do, but he can't allow himself to do it because he's a good Christian man. And I just thought that that was such an interesting struggle. And I guess that's something that people go through quite frequently, but just the way that it was described was really interesting to me. And yeah, that's what was most interesting about this book for me, was just like all these different individuals' journeys through different areas of life and different situations, and the psychological analysis that Tolstoy does is on par with any other, you know, fantastic writer. Like, you're really in the minds of these people so perfectly, and you're getting to understand everything so perfectly. And Tolstoy is really like a one-liner kind of zinger. Like, he can express so much through one line, kind of like in the story of Dorian Gray. That's a really good like one-liner zinger kind of thing, and I felt like Tolstoy packed a lot of one-liner zingers in here. I'd recommend this book. I mean, 10 out of 10. It's like, you know, it's like almost reading these kind of books to me is just like an unfair advantage, because you get to just understand like so many different types of people, and like it might not be like whatever like 100% accurate or anything, but yeah, whenever I read novels like these, I can just attribute and correlate the characters to people that I know in life and people that I see on a daily basis. It's like, yeah, this person is struggling the same way that Levin is, or this person is very much like a Anna Karenina, or this person is going through a situation like that, and I understand how they feel because I read the book, you know. So you can, it helps you have serious empathy for people, I think. Yeah, Tolstoy is a genius. I think he's an amazing writer after this, and I'm gonna go read more of his books. Just simply wonderful. Yeah, watching Anna's descent into like an underground woman is really interesting too. I really enjoyed seeing that. Anyway, yeah, it's an amazing book. It's funny too. It's got everything you need, really. I mean, I'd recommend reading it 100%. If you're not convinced by this review, then just go pick up this this translation and just read the first few pages. I mean, you'll find out how funny it is. And there's definitely going to be at least one or two characters that you resonate with, and you always want to read more about and see what they're going to do and see what kind of situations they're going through, because it's actually giving you a mirror into yourself and how you might act in these situations, and you get to learn about yourself and other people. And that's really what is so fun to me about reading, is, you know, getting to turn this theoretical kind of like abstract knowledge and then applying it into real life and experiencing what it means to actually understand those things. And yeah, so anyway, that's my review of this. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Take it easy from Northern California. Peace. Take it easy.